Hi, I'm Matt Southam. Welcome to the Stretch Zone podcast, where each week we get together with entrepreneurs, business owners and professionals to discuss their experiences in pushing to reach their goals and what principles we can apply in our own lives in order to learn, grow and succeed.
Well, welcome to the first ever episode of the Stretch Zone. I thought it was really important that he actually explain, the concept behind this podcast and what people are likely to get from listening to the series. And who better to help me and join me on this first episode is my friend and colleague, Maria Bayley. Hello, Maria, how are you?
Hello, I'm good, how are you?
Yeah, very good. So we've sort of worked on this concept together. So originally, when we first discussed the podcast, we knew we wanted to each week have different guests along from the world of business, from the world of health, from entrepreneurship, from personal development, to basically give listeners options and ideas to help them improve their personal development. And I think you remember we had a bit of a short list of names, didn't we? Trying to work out, we had the concept of what the podcast was going to be about, but what we didn't have was a name. And actually it was your name or one of the names that you came up with that we actually went with, which is the Stretch Zone. So the Stretch Zone is based around a concept, it sits in with comfort zone and at the other end panic zone, and stretch zone's in the middle. Do you want to explain a little bit about what the stretch zone is and why we work best in that area?
Yeah, I don't really know where to start.
So where does the concept come from?
So should I go into the deeper history?
Yeah, go on, let's give a bit of background on this.
Okay, so the comfort stretch panic model is a model developed by Carl Ronk, but that was based on the Yerkes-Dodson law, which is something, if you've studied psychology, you might know about. It was based on a study in 1908. And basically what came of that, the law suggests that we work best, we perform at our best and learn at our best when we are under some pressure, when we're under some stress.
Okay. Yeah.
Not so much stress that you panic and you kind of retreat and you freak out and can't do it and go into that kind of fight or flight mode, but we're under a little bit of pressure, we've got this motivation, and that helps us almost subconsciously to perform better.
Yeah. That's basically what it is, and I guess the concept is, most people sit in their comfort zone quite regularly and just tick along, but actually by stepping into your stretch zone, one, you perform better, two, you learn better, but actually you often find after doing something within your stretch zone with that little bit of pressure, you become quite comfortable with it, and therefore your comfort zone grows and you can keep expanding out. So the name does fit into what we are trying to deliver in the podcast, and that is providing people with ideas to step outside their comfort zone, to improve their business, to improve their personal development, improve their health, and therefore keep growing and learning. And I think that's really important. I'm going to spring a couple of bits on you now because we didn't really prep too much for this. That probably sounds unprofessional for our first episode, but we wrote a few notes and I'm just
too busy working.
Yeah, too busy working. So, but what do you like to do to push yourself into your stretch zone? Where do you find your sources of sort of influence or new ideas and personal development? What do you do?
Oh, lots of things. There's certain things I do to challenge myself, and then there's things that I do to learn more. So I learn more by reading, I learn by watching TED Talks. You and I are both big fans of those. Podcasts, so I love to listen to things in the morning and get my brain going, get me inspired for the day. In terms of pushing myself into my stretch zone, I take risks. So at university, when I wrote my essays, I did leave them until the week before, not the day before, because then I'd write a terrible essay and I'd cry through it. But I would leave it till about the week before, because under the pressure of only having a few days, I would write a great essay.
Yes.
And when I'm asked to do a job that I've never done before, say yes and worry about it later, because then you find you can do it. And now I've got a wealth of skills and business contacts that I never would have had if I'd been too scared to say yes.
No, and I think that's really important. And a lot of business owners, entrepreneurs, they've got to take that little risk. You've got to take that little jump. And when I talk about entrepreneurs, it's not just you own the business. Even working in a business or going for a certain role or what you do within your job. I think stepping outside your comfort zone, taking a little risk. Saying yes to something, then trying to work out how to do it. Not a complete blagger, I don't believe in completely blagging, but as long as it fits within your field, I think we can all grow and learn more just by challenging ourselves to do so. Is there anything you'd like to add onto what the stretch zone is? You know, I mean, hope we are going to get you back for an episode where we're going to talk about design. Obviously, you're a very good graphic designer, and that's your field. So we're going to talk about design within businesses. But is there anything you want to add to, you know, this first ever episode on the concept of the stretch zone?
I think it's important to bear in mind the kind of idea behind the podcast itself and how the stretch zone ties into that. So with the comfort, stretch, panic model, it really is about understanding what your comfort zone is and how it's where we are all the time, which is lovely, and we can kind of do things on autopilot, but all the time you're sitting there, you're not learning anything. You need to challenge yourself to learn new things, and if you're going to grow in business or in your personal life, you need to take small steps into that stretch zone to make yourself comfortable with those things and push more. So with all the guests that you're going to have on the podcast, they're going to be talking about things that they've done to push themselves and the success they've had, and keep in mind what we can take from those.
Yeah, excellent. Well, thank you very much for today, and
my pleasure.
Yeah, great to talk to you.